Jungkook becomes one of Korea's richest idols. Even US media confirms it. How rich is too rich for a global idol? That question is echoing across both Korean and international media this week, as Jungkook of BTS is officially crowned not only a superstar of music and fashion, but now one of Korea's wealthiest celebrities. What makes this moment more electrifying is that the validation didn't come from Korean outlets alone. It came stamped by American media, the very gatekeepers who once questioned whether K-pop idols could ever stand shoulder to shoulder with Hollywood elites. The numbers themselves are staggering. Between his massive global endorsements, from Calvin Klein to luxury skincare lines, his music royalties, sold-out solo projects, and his deep shareholdings tied to HYB, Jungkook has built a fortune that rivals long-established tycoons in the Korean entertainment world. But while Korean fans have long celebrated his financial ascent, it was only when US business outlets began to publish their confirmations, naming him in their features on Asia's self-made entertainment millionaires, that the story exploded into a global headline. The symbolism here cannot be overstated. For decades, Western media has set the standard of global celebrity wealth, measuring stars by their ability to match American pop icons. Yet now, with headlines declaring Jungkook one of Korea's richest idols, US media has effectively legitimized what ARMY already knew. Jungkook isn't just a performer, he's an empire. The irony is that Jungkook himself has never flaunted his fortune. His live streams show him in casual clothing, singing softly in dimly lit rooms, munching on ramen, or playfully interacting with fans. He projects warmth, not extravagance. And yet behind that modest image lies an empire vast enough to make him a headline not for his music, but for his money. That contrast, humble boy next door versus untouchable mogul, is part of what makes this revelation so shocking and so irresistible to the press. But what does it mean when even the West acknowledges his wealth? For Korean fans, it feels like validation on a global scale. For Western readers, it's a reminder that K-pop idols are no longer just cultural imports, but financial giants capable of dominating the same economic conversations once reserved for Beyoncé, Rihanna, or Taylor Swift. Jungkook's fortune is no longer just a number. It's a symbol of how far BTS has pushed the boundaries of what Asian artists can achieve on the world stage. And yet the questions pile up. Will this new narrative of wealth overshadow Jungkook's artistry? Will headlines about bank accounts distract from his music, his dance, his voice, the very gifts that made him beloved? Or will his fortune, now internationally confirmed, only reinforce his image as the ultimate global icon, someone who conquered both the charts and the markets? For now, one truth is undeniable. Jungkook has crossed into a new echelon of fame, one where his net worth sparks as much debate as his fashion choices or his high notes. And with US media validating his place among Korea's richest idols, the world is left wondering, is Jungkook still just an idol, or has he quietly become the blueprint of a global mogul? The timing of this revelation could not be more strategic or more dramatic. With BTS preparing for their long-awaited full-group comeback in early 2026, the spotlight on Jungkook's individual fortune raises pressing questions. What does this mean for the future dynamics of BTS? Can one member's overwhelming financial success alter the group's balance, or will it only serve as a testament to their collective power? UDES. Outlets like Variety and Forbes Entertainment haven't hesitated to rank Jungkook among not just Korea's richest idols, but also one of the most influential young moguls in Asia. Their features carefully note how his portfolio extends far beyond music, anchored in HYB stock ownership, global endorsements, and even early whispers of private investments in tech startups. To see his name on the same lists as entertainment powerhouses Rihanna and Justin Bieber is surreal for many fans, who just years ago watched him shyly debut as BTS's youngest member, unsure of his place in the world. And yet here he is, internationally stamped as a mogul. The boy who once sang about chasing dreams in No More Dream is now living a reality so vast, even American outlets are scrambling to measure it. The irony has fans in tears and laughter online. ARMY hashtags trend daily. Hashtag proud of you Jungkook, hashtag mogulkook, and even humorous spins like hashtag bunny tycoon. One fan joked on Twitter, he went from golden magnate to golden billionaire. What's next? President Jungkook. But this isn't just fan banter. The recognition of Jungkook's wealth by Western media has broader cultural implications. For decades, the global narrative around wealth in music has centered on the US, with names like Jay-Z, Dr. Dre, Taylor Swift, and Beyoncé dominating the conversation. K-pop idols, no matter how successful, were often framed as outsiders, exotic imports to the American-dominated stage. Now, Jungkook is flipping that script. By forcing American outlets to write his name next to these icons, he is rewriting what global wealth and entertainment looks like. Interestingly, Jungkook himself has never been driven by money. In countless interviews, he has confessed that what matters most to him is artistry, connection with fans, and the pursuit of perfection on stage. He once said during a Weverse Live, "Money is something that comes and goes. What I want is to make something timeless." Yet, perhaps it is this very mindset, this refusal to chase wealth, that has made it flow toward him naturally. The boy who sought music, not money, ended up creating a fortune so enormous it shook the industry. And there lies the central paradox. Jungkook's wealth is not the story of greed, but the story of grace. His financial empire is a byproduct of his relentless artistry, his sincerity toward ARMY, and his uncanny ability to embody authenticity in an era dominated by artifice. Unlike many celebrities who aggressively brand themselves as business people, Jungkook never needed to. The world simply chose to crown him, yet beneath the admiration lies unease. Korean forums buzz with debate. Will Jungkook's overwhelming fortune separate him too far from ordinary fans? Will he still be relatable when he is no longer just their idol but their mogul? Some netizens argue that his modest lifestyle, his refusal to flaunt cars, mansions, or designer brands, protects him from that distance. Others worry that US media will turn his fortune into fodder for unnecessary comparison, especially against his fellow BTS members. The comparisons have already started. If Jungkook is Korea's richest idol, where does that leave Jimin, Jeon, or RM? One entertainment blog provocatively asked. Some Western tabloids even framed it as a subtle competition within BTS, as though their brotherhood could be overshadowed by numbers in bank accounts. But ARMY pushes back, insisting that the boys have always celebrated each other's wins. One fan tweeted, "Jungkook's wealth doesn't divide BTS, it proves their collective impact. They rose together, and they'll rise higher in 2026. What's undeniable is that Jungkook's recognition as one of Korea's richest idols signals a new era not only for him, but for BTS as a whole. The world is watching differently now. They are no longer simply 7 performers from Seoul. They are living testaments of how music, passion, and authenticity can translate into unmatched cultural and financial capital. And so, as Jungkook's name graces American wealth lists, the question shifts from if he deserves it to what will he do with it. Will he reinvest in the arts? Launch a foundation? Build a label of his own? Or will he, as always, surprise the world by remaining humble, simply singing under the soft glow of his lamp in another late-night live?